somebody has to tell me I'm not alone in feeling this way. When you have a baby, a lot of people don't tell you, like, we really weren't designed to be like this. So many moms, including myself, we struggle because, and it's just sad because I don't think that should be the way that we're living. Sorry, I'm getting riled up. So the security guy just came to my window asking like what I'm doing, and I'm like, oh, is it okay that I record a video real quick in my car? And he's like kind of confused looking, but he's like, sure, okay. I'm just gonna re-record this because it kind of disrupted my flow, my train of thought. The reason why I'm in the car in a random parking lot right now is because we are pretty much a month into consistently working out, which is incredible. As a postpartum mom, you can look at my previous videos to see why, because it has been a journey for me. Like working out, first of all, like prioritizing self-care, and then also working out and doing hard things even when I don't feel like it, even when I'm tired. I'm so tired because I'm chasing and trying to manage, you know, my baby all day, trying to take her to outings too, and doing stuff around the house and trying to get rest in between. And there's a lot going on, but I've been burning to make this video, so I'm taking advantage of, because there's traffic right now. I'm like, might as well just park on the side while the traffic dies down a bit to record this video that I have been stewing on for so many weeks, because I'm like, please, somebody has to tell me I'm not alone in feeling this way. So few people talk openly and honestly in not like a whiny complaining type of way, but it's like you can be honest and real about the challenges of life without being like a Debbie Downer, right? I honestly feel like this is why I have my videos. This is why I have my channel, and I'm so passionate despite being so tired and having so little energy and capacity. But I want to do this because I'm like, I can't be the only one who wants a safe space to talk about these things. So thank you to those of you who've been commenting and just connecting and reassuring me that I'm not alone, and also you're not alone either. So I'm making this video because I know I cannot be the only mom who feels this, but it's just puzzling because I think as moms, as women, we are so like overall conditioned by society to pretend everything's fine. Life is great, don't get me wrong, there's so many blessings, I'm so grateful for so many things. At the same time, we are totally justified too in expressing our frustrations, our challenges, saying, you know, today I was in a funk, or this week I was not feeling great. I just feel like there's, I don't know, this unspoken rule almost that so many of us feel like we need to abide by being like, oh, I don't want to complain, I want to be so grateful for everything I have a baby, I have a family, you know, XYZ. And it's like, yeah, you can be grateful and also be struggling at the same time. So that's me. And I'm going to talk about a specific topic today that it's just been burning in my heart. I really feel like I need to like channel this somehow into some productive energy. I don't know what that looks like given my own capacity and just being tired with my 9-month-old mobile baby and just trying to figure out life in general. Actually, it's two tangential topics. The first one is, okay, so even though I'm 9 months after having a baby, what I've been thinking a lot about is postpartum is like an ongoing, I think they say it lasts 24 months to like fully adjust, or not even, what is fully adjustment? Like recover, like physically, like your body needs between 12 to 24 months usually to like actually recover, but it doesn't go back ever to what it used to be. Emotionally speaking though, I feel like it's like an ongoing journey of like you're constantly adjusting. You're never fully adjusted because life and your baby is always changing, and you are always changing, and circumstances are always changing. And so this analogy occurred to me when I was thinking about this, just constantly stewing on this the past few weeks, where it's like when you have a baby, a lot of people don't tell you that it is so different, that it really feels like you are not just like on another planet all of a sudden. It's like you teleport, you transport it to another planet. For me at least, it felt like another dimension. So it's kind of like you're playing, if you ever played a video game, it's not just like a level. It's not like you jumped from level 1 to level 2 or level 10. I really feel like it's you went from single player to multiplayer. Like it's a totally different game with different rules, different modes, different ways of thinking. The goal is different. The everything is different. The challenges are different, you know, and like how you strategize is different. So I don't know. I just feel like, oh yeah, it totally makes sense that even though I'm 9 months in, I still feel like there's so much much that me and my husband are constantly trying to quote unquote figure out. Like, for example, this week I went to my second dance fitness class, which I was really, again, proud of myself for, because number one, it is hard, or at least for me, it was really anxiety inducing when I was first trying to practice taking my baby out in public for the first time. Or for the first few months, because it's just a brand new experience. There's like so much unknown. But not only did I take my baby to these dance fitness classes, it's self-care. It's like working out, it's getting sweaty, it's like all these like uncomfortable things. At the same time, it was frustrating because the first time I did it, magically, it was 2 weeks ago, my baby did really well in the stroller. She just like pretty much stayed there contently watching the class, and I was really impressed and thankful. But this week, she lasted maybe 15 seconds in the stroller. She was just crying. And then I tried to put her down, repeatedly kept crying, tried to get a yoga mat. I tried everything. And I forgot to bring my carrier, so I couldn't try that. So I literally held her with one arm trying to do my dance fitness class in a sweaty room for 45 minutes. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is so hard. And I feel like, yeah, it was a workout in terms of I'm carrying her and she's heavy, but I don't get to maximize the full extent of the class. It's not a huge deal, but it's just these little micro things like every single day that makes me really go back to thinking over and over again about how so many moms, including myself, we struggle because we're like trying to do all the things that in the past, in traditional societal structures, you had multiple women taking care of kids, like helping each other. It was literally a village. I heard this week, this is the first time I heard this from a great podcast interview I was listening to while doing the dishes or chores or whatever. He's a former therapist, Adam Smith. He was talking about how before the 50s, on average, 40 to 50 women are living with you when you become a mom, or living with or around you, like in close proximity. And so you're literally raising each other's children. You're literally seeing how people are raising children, what to do, learning from each other. If you're struggling, there's tons of people to help cook food, and people to help, do chores and look after your kids if you need to do something. Like, wow, like that is incredible. I've said this like so many times on my channel. I can't get over how constantly I'm thinking, oh my gosh, this is why we need a village. Like, we really weren't designed to be like this in Western society, where we are, like me right now, I'm a stay-at-home mom. I don't talk to adults unless I proactively go out and seek it myself. I have to be proactive about it. And I know so many moms who are like this too. They're like at home all day, barely talk to an adult, and they're losing their minds because their kids, especially if they have multiples, their kids are crying and screaming and needing things and always needing their attention. They're overstimulated. It's so loud. As someone who, I grew up an only child, my husband did too. And when we got married, things were still pretty quiet on average. We're just two adults. And I remember one time someone invited us to dinner at their house. Then they had 3 kids, a dog, them, and also one set of their parents. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's so loud. It's like so many things happening, but they were so used to it. But for me and my husband, we were like, this is a lot. Now that I'm a mom, I understand why that is the norm. Like, how we're supposed to live is in community, in connection, with a lot of support, with a lot of people. But I think especially in Western society, where we're so individualistic, like that's such a high cultural pillar, is like, doing things on your own and being independent and being self-reliant. Yeah, there's a lot of benefits to it. Don't get me wrong. Like, I, for most of my life, grew up like a very self-driven, self-sufficient, I'm a strong, independent woman, kind of mentality. But then when I got married, I realized, wow, having a husband, having a man in my life, we do need each other. We are made to be interdependent. But now as a mom, like, I am honestly I don't even know like how to articulate this, but my heart just like grieves and is so yearning for that village. And it's like a lot. It's really heavy for me because I think it's so complicated, people would just say, oh, like just move back in with your parents, or just it's not that easy. Family dynamics are complicated, and we also love where we live. We really believe like we were led here, like God led us here for a reason. We love the values here, the culture, even though we're farther away from our parents, but also even our parents are honestly like, they are older. My parents can't pick my baby up by themselves, like their health is just not good. But on the flip side, that could be a counter argument of like, oh, even more reason to like be closer. But it's like, I don't know, it's so complicated. I won't even go down that rabbit hole. Okay, it's complicated. Let me just say that. And I'm sure people with complicated relationships can relate to that. It's like, it's just not that easy. If you have a very healthy, functional, you know, like, and people are willing to receive help, and, you know, people are not controlling, like, just, you know, I won't go down into details right now, but it's really hard when you don't have a healthy, functional family system with shared values, with emotional health. A lot of us are trying to break generational chains of dysfunction, codependency, and like toxicity, right? And on the flip side, you're also, you know, sometimes you do feel led somewhere else geographically away from where you grew up. But the downside, it's really sad, because not just that, but I think societally, just like the culture is so focused, even in the church, where, you know, I'm a Christian, I'm a believer, and we go to church. We are plugged in. We want to commit to church community. We've been like that, me and my husband, since we were dating, and we were both like that before we met. I really have a high value for spiritual, you know, faith community, and especially for both of us being only children, like faith community is our family, is our chosen family. But I think what I've just like encountered over and over again through the many years is that I think culturally in the West, even in the church, there's still so much like reservation in terms of this is like my bubble, and then church is like, yeah, like we'll go to church, or like we'll do church things, or we'll do, you know, we'll get together, let's like arrange time to meet up. There's still this mental like picture of like that's community and church when I want to opt in, but then I also just want to be by myself. And I understand that, because for most of my life I was like that too, you know, especially as an introvert, which yeah, surprise, it might not seem like it, but I am pretty introverted, and my husband too. I really like having alone time and recharging. But as a parent, I realize more and more that, yeah, just because you're an introvert though doesn't necessarily mean that model of like, this is my bubble in my life, and then this is community that I will like opt into or try to like intentionally go to. And I'm having trouble explaining this, but that's not how actually we're supposed to function. I think so many times, you know, when I'm trying to do the dishes, when my baby's like fussing, or I'm trying to cook something, or I'm trying to take care of a quick errand, or like even want to make a call, but my baby's, you know, just again, there's like, I can't cool myself. And then I think of all these moms who probably are having even a harder time with multiple kids, / they just care less, or they use screen time, you know, like, so, you know, we're all compromising, we're all just doing the best that we can. What Adam said in the interview was, being a parent is hard, but it actually shouldn't be this hard. The hard that we are feeling in our society is exacerbated, is amplified, because so many of us lack that village. What just really gets me is I hear so many moms, not when I talk to them in person. Surprisingly, I hear this mostly in like online communities and groups that I'm in. I guess people just feel more safe to open up. When I see moms in person, overall, moms are like, oh, everything's good. Yeah, you know, we're tired here and there, but overall everything's good. And then you just kind of start questioning like, oh, I guess they're fine, but I'm not doing okay. You know, like I want friends. I want connection. I want community. I want I want adult interaction. And personally, I always offer moms, you know, if I can like help out, if I can come by and drop off food, you know, I can help watch your baby while you like have some me time, because we can help entertain each other's baby so that we can both benefit, you know. It's baffling, and it's also still honestly confusing to me. Like, usually my offers get turned down, and I understand maybe people don't feel comfortable or don't want to receive help, or maybe they don't know me that well yet. I'm just like offering help that I personally would love. If other people offered to be like, hey, I want to come by and like play with your baby, and you can like do your whatever you want to do, I'm like, yes, thank you, please. But it just feels weird when I'm the one always like trying to be like, hey, you want to come over? And then it's like, I feel bad, because I'm like, do you actually want to, or are you just feel obligated to like come and help me? Anyway, sorry, that's a kind of a side tangent. But what I do hear and read online a lot is a lot of moms say they want mom friends, say they want connection. And I used to, before having a baby, I didn't understand this, because I was like, oh, mom friends, just go out there and put yourself out there, right? And make friends. But no, it's hard because of this, what I was just describing, this societal, like cultural thing where it's like, oh, this is my land and I feel bad asking for help, or I feel bad receiving help. And oh, it actually is hard to make friends because everyone's struggling so much. Like, moms are trying to meet up, but their baby's nap schedule doesn't work out, or it's too hot to bring their baby outside, or, you know, it's stressful to bring your baby out, especially if you have multiple. And it's almost this like what is it, like a vicious cycle of like, I want connection to stay sane, but it's also, I'm so overwhelmed and stressed that I can't go out. And it's just sad because I don't think that that should be the way that we're living. Sorry, I'm getting riled up. I've been trying so hard, especially because I agree, yeah, it is a lot of effort to like try to meet up if you like live far away, which again, the whole village model is people living right next to you, with you, you're doing life together. And also just want to say that I'm focusing on moms specifically in this video because you can be on the camp of men and women are the same and equal and blah 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 before you have kids, but after you give birth and become a parent, I feel like universally you are humbled and you realize men and women are very differently affected, also function very differently, respond very differently, have very different wiring when it comes to thinking about your child and how you think about your child. I think moms are just biologically in general just so much more, they carry so much more mental load, emotional load. I mean, societally, you know, like culturally speaking, it also is ingrained, but I really feel like becoming a mom has made me realize women need women more than ever before. And yeah, maybe it was more optional like before you have kids because you're just kind of doing your own thing, living your own life. After you birth a human being and are now responsible for this human being, and of course your partner is doing it too, but it's not the same, you know, like the struggles that moms go through, especially postpartum, especially through mattress sense, you know, this is a whole nother topic, but it has really made me realize more than ever, oh wow, my husband is really empathetic, he's really understanding, he really wants to listen, but he truly is just not able to understand because he's not a woman, he's not a mom. So I think dads need dads, moms need moms. But then I was also thinking there's another whole layer of this that I didn't even touch on, which is the complexity of female friendships in the modern day age. You know, there's just so many layers to all this that makes it difficult and isolating. I think especially women who come into motherhood before having a baby, you're like really, you are on top of things, you are in general just you have this strong persona. And that's what I've noticed is when I talk to a lot of moms about how they're doing, a lot of moms don't even know how to describe how they're doing, and I understand because we've just been taught to be so disconnected from ourselves because we're so busy and productive and doing all these things. So it's like also another barrier is the emotional disconnect. Yeah, people are just struggling and don't know, if you're disconnected from yourself, you also cannot connect deeply with others. I just find it, like personally speaking, very difficult to find women who are open and vulnerable and, you know, not like super Debbie Downer and just like mopey, but also not like toxically positive and like everything's great, everything's fine, I don't need help, you know. I just want this to be a space where you can do both at the same time, because that's truly what motherhood, but also just life really is. It's like holding opposite emotions and opposites, you know, at the same time. That's okay. I have honestly been trying to make mom friends in my own neighborhood. Okay, we live in an apartment complex, and I'm like, there must be moms here who want to do life together, who want to, hey, like, I'm going to Costco, like, let me grab, like, send me your shopping list, I will grab your stuff, and then we can take turns. How great would that be? Or can I watch your baby and then you watch mine? You know, like, let's just take turns, and then our babies can interact and have social time. It's just been really hard to find people. Like, I'll post on our group, I only got one response, and there's a lot of people who live in our community. Or I'll like pass by other moms, but they kind of like they give me like a cold shoulder vibe, so I'm like, I guess, I don't know if they want to connect. I don't know, it's just it's proven to be a lot harder. I've said it before in a previous video where I found it relatively easier than expected to make mom friends in the earlier stages, ironically during the newborn stage, because everyone's struggling. So when you meet a mom who's also in the newborn stage, they're more open, I guess, because they also are desperate for connection and they're losing it too, and you're kind of like struggling together. But then ironically, I feel like when you're past the newborn stage, people kind of go into this in between that's just like very uncomfortable, where you're struggling but not enough to be like desperate for connection, and so you kind of still have walls and reservations up and like excuses why you can't, but then you're also not doing well. Like, you still need connection. And the other thing that gets me though is I will meet moms sometimes that are like, yeah, let's get together, and they seem really enthusiastic. This happens online a lot too, where moms are like, I need mom friends, like, let's get together, but like the follow through is very lacking in all of these conversations, where I'm like, yeah, like, let's hang out, let's get together, like, when are you free? And then they're like, oh, actually I'm busy now. And I don't know, it's hard. I don't notice this as much where we live with non-parents. I feel like before we had kids, before we had our baby, it was a lot easier just to hang out with people whenever, because you don't have all these time restrictions. But now there's like bedtime, there's nap times, there's meal times, you know, their mood and what's going on. And again, it's just this vicious cycle of like, I'm already having a hard enough time trying to manage life with my child/children. How do I also do that out there? I think the pro of this Eastern philosophy or Eastern way of thinking of collectivism is that it's not like, oh, this is me and my family, and then that's out there with other people. I really feel like, unfortunately, as Western society, modern day society, we've lost the collectivism of like, we're actually supposed to be all together, interconnected, and helping each other out, doing life together, not being so like, oh, I need to have my stuff together. And I think for me specifically, I, you know, as a believer, I also want to ideally make close, deep, rich friendships and do life together with other moms who are like-minded, who have the same values, same goals, same eternal perspective that I have about everything. You know, like, having your faith really, really affects how you see everything, how you approach being a mom and raising your family and raising your children and loving your husband and everything. And so, I don't know, I feel like I recognize that I have like a specific vision for the kinds of friendships that I want to build, the kind of village that I want, but it is so hard to find that even in the church, even in Christian circles. And that's just the reality that I'm just outwardly sharing. And I think so often Christians tend to like almost not shame, but like kind of like lecture and be like, you need community, you need to be like connected with other people. It's like a lot of us know that. It's just a matter of like, how do we make that happen when so many of us we've been conditioned for so long that we're just doing our own thing, and we'll choose community during times when it's convenient or when we have like more capacity, when we're less busy. And it's like, actually, we're supposed to be supporting each other when we are drowning and busy and overwhelmed. Like, that's when we need people the most, you know? There's so many thoughts I have about this. I would love to also hear what other moms think about this. If you can resonate at all with my ramblings, I really feel like this is so broken and like so inefficient and so just sad. It's just sad that so many of us are feeling like this, and I just want people to be real. Like, okay, that's the other thing. I think a lot of moms and women, we feel like we need to like be put together and be cleaned up, you know, like, oh, before I invite people over, I need to like make sure my place looks like a Pinterest home. And it's like, I'm not here to judge your house, you know. I'm here to be real in a mess with you and with myself. And if anything, I have a friend who they do not clean up whenever they invite people over. It just blesses me. It's just like, I feel like it gives me permission to be like, oh, I can do that too, you know? If you feel like this, please comment to let me know I'm not crazy, because I've been trying so many things to make mom friends, to do life with moms, to offer help, you know, to be the village that I want. And it's like, I don't know, like, I'm just getting rejection. I'm getting no responses. I'm getting, you know, people are just busy, stressed and struggling on their own, or being like, oh, now's not a good time. And it's hard not to take it personally. Like, I try not to, because I know it's unhealthy to go down that spiral. At the same time, it's like, wow, how are we really gonna learn to do life together again so that we can raise healthy, thriving families, so that moms are not burnt out, husbands and wives are not carrying the entire load that a whole village is supposed to help them carry. Me and my husband really felt this during the postpartum newborn trenches, like I've described in the past. But it's, even though we're out of that, you know, 9 months, but it's still very, very felt. And I know moms and parents feel this pretty much ongoingly, but especially when your kids are little, because it's a lot. It's a lot to manage. They're just wild and screaming growing and changing a lot and like very high needs, you know. By the way, I just restarted therapy, so praise the Lord, because I've been needing my last therapy session. I was like, oh my gosh, I have so many things to unload. Because when you're a mom, you're just like constantly, you're on, you know, your mind is always thinking, what does my baby need? What do I need to do next? And you're taking care of your family, your house, your errands. And so there's very little opportunity to just like be and process and not be rushed. Like right now I'm like, oh, I better get home because my husband is taking care of dinner and bedtime with our baby, and he just texted me, so I feel like he wants me to come back. I need to channel this energy somehow. I'm thankful for this outlet. I'm thankful for everybody. Like if you're watching this, I am so thankful that you stayed, because this is a long rant. But also I'm like, what do I do? Like part of me keeps thinking like, should I just start a mom group? But then my attempts have all been not very fruitful, and it's another thing to commit to. Can I even commit to that? Like can I go out every week at the same time when my baby is unpredictable? I don't know what to do. People, I guess, feel like it's weird if I like offer too much. I think that's just what I need to keep doing, even though it hurts and even though it's risky every time, is just like striking up conversation with people when I see them. But it's a lot. And I also don't feel like I'm mentally sane enough. It's like sometimes I'm like, am I too off the rails for these people? Well, people even want to be my friend. Like and subscribe, do all the things if you resonate, and follow along for more realistic, unfiltered, honest first-time motherhood in this safe space that I'm trying to cultivate for all of us, because I'm sure I'm not the only one who feels this way.